Hello, my Vibe Tribe. This is Absolute Tarot Channel, and I'm your personal reader, CaraSeen. We got something new today. That's right. I am going to be introducing my Whispers of the Moon Magic Oracle cards. I designed these myself. There are 80 cards in the deck, and there's about 9 different sections of the deck, too. They're Oracle, not Tarot. And they all have to do with the moon, with messages, affirmations, Celtic moon trees, to magic moon, to all kinds of goodies in you're going to see. So what we're going to do, I designed a special spread for this reading, and we're going to go into an affirmation. Looking at my notes here. Hopes and fears, inner self, what their intentions are, and what you need to learn, and what you need in your relationship, what needs exploring in the relationship. And this is going to be your moon sign love messages. So we're going to be starting off here with Aries. Aries is our first one here today, and I'm going to be following up with Whispers of the Moon cards with tarot as well. And I think we're going to have some really cool messages coming in here. So this is going to be your moon sign. It's a little bit different than your sun sign. You can go down in the description down below. I think, you know what, I'm going to put in comments as well. I'll put in the description and comments, and you can calculate your moon sign right there if you know your birth time. And that's a moon sign is different than your sun sign or your rising, and it's all your emotional state. It is how you react emotionally, how you react in a relationship, how you react in a situation, anything that involves emotions. So I picked the moon sign for love messages. All right. So first we're going to start off with, the first card is affirmation. I'm just going to shuffle your energy into the cards here, Aries. First card we have coming out here is the Magician. And give me a little shuffle here. The Magician and affirmations. That's fantastic. So your affirmation that you have here, I just got something in the way here. The affirmation for you is the new moon. Now the new moon represents like a clean slate. It represents new beginnings. And when the new moon energy here with the Magician, I'm liking that. It says here, I'm beginning a new path of self-discovery. With the Magician here, beginning a new path of self-discovery with the Magician, it's focused creativity. It's turning your ideas, your hopes, your dreams, everything like that. It turns visions into reality. This is inspired. This is having all the resources at your fingertips, and beginning a new path of self-discovery with that is amazing to see. Now our next one we have here is hopes and fears. So hopes and fears in those of you in a relationship, even those of you who are single, we're going to read this just as a neutral ground. Love messages for hopes and fears. Love messages for hopes and fears. Cooperation to perfect balance. We have the Libra moon. Very cool. Now this next card is, first was affirmation. This all has to do with the zodiac moons as well. So we have, I know it's backwards, but cooperation to begin perfect balance here. That's some air energy. That's logic. That's intellect. That is kind of a really cool flighty energy here. We got the Six of Pentacles going with the Libra moon. And it's interesting, the Six of Pentacles, he's actually holding a judgment scales that would manage with Libra. And the Six of Pentacles is interesting. This has to do here with giving and receiving help. This is generosity. This is cooperation to perfect the balance. I like that. Cooperation and balance is what you have here. Hopes and dreams. Well, you hope to have perfect balance, right? And without that, you can't get that without cooperation. You can't get with the giving and the receiving too, with sometimes having to be a little unselfish and give that charity and clarity. Now our next one here is inner self, what is blocking you? Inner self, what is blocking you? Any messages coming in? There we go. Oh, we got two. I only need one. Inner self, what is blocking? Inner self, what is blocking Aries? You have the waning crescent for messages. Let go and surrender the past. It's a time that's a waning crescent. That's about healing and soothing here. It's time to surrender and let go. Let go of the past is what we need to learn. And what may be blocking us as well is not letting go of the past. May I have a tarot card for clarity, please? Just one tarot card for clarity, please. Letting go. Use your waning crescent messages. And we have here, for what's blocking you, is the Four of Wands. Now, the Four of Wands is about moving out. This is arguments here. What's blocking you is, I believe, that's your past. Arguments and not trusting here. The doors are being closed, shaking, and you got to be able to unblock that. Open those doors. It's time for celebration. Now, what are their intentions? What are the person that you are thinking about as your love? What are their intentions? If you have not met your love yet, think about your future soulmate. What are their intentions? Okay. Oh, that was a cool flip. So the magic, what we have here first is, I received perfect intention into my life as it was intended. We have the last quarter magic moon. Last quarter magic moon. And that's about time to balance and trust and reevaluate as well. Receiving your perfect intention into life the way it was intended. That's some really cool intentions. I just want to give a little backup clarity with tarot, and then we'll read the both of them together. Tarot for what are their intentions? What are their intentions with my Aries? What are their intentions with Aries? So their intention is to receive the way life was meant to be. Now we have the King of Pentacles here in reverse. This sometimes is a no follow through, and this can be a little jealousy as well. The way things were supposed to be intended is you want leadership, you want solidarity, you want practicality, you want someone who is wise. But we don't want to deal with this card right here. So some of the intentions here are some no follow through, something to be mindful of here. Now let's look into what you need to learn. We're going to look into Celtic moon astrology is our next part. What you need to learn. Under the Whispers of Moon Tarot. And this is all Celtic astrology now. All the Celtic trees as I use for the next cards. I use Celtic moons to collaborate with the Celtic trees. What do you need to learn from this love? What do you need to learn from this love? And the card that we have is February Moon for Rowan Tree. You need to learn protection, connection, and expression in a highly influential, in a quiet way. So you need to learn about protection, connection, expression, being influenced and doing it in a quiet way versus it's more like an action speak louder than words, you know, that kind of vibe. The February vibe is also coming out of the time of the cold and into the time of the warmth. We have the Five of Wands here, and what you need to learn is to ease back a little bit on the arguing. The Five of Wands, sometimes about rivalry and challenges. This is obstacles as well. Learning to quiet your down a little bit more. Sometimes I call this card in readings arguing for the sake of arguing. Sometimes just needing to battle a little bit, and that's not a good time. You need to change your stars when you deal with this one. So it's time to be more influential in a quiet way versus a verbal way. And that's the things we may need to learn. Now we're going to go into the Native American moons. Here in America, we have an amazing First Nations cultures, very, very many. And they have what they call a wolf moon for, let's say, January. Today is actually May 7th that I'm doing this recording. And tonight we have the May flower moon. So it depends what comes up here. This is going to be what we need in your relationship. What kind of moon do you need in your relationship? So there's different moons. There's buck moons. There's, like I said, wolf moons, flower moon, super moon, blue moon, pink moon. Each month has a full moon except for October has 2. So we covered all the moons. We as in me, sorry. There's many me inside me. And you got the buck moon here. So what you need in your relationship is, I'll show you what the buck moon looks like. It's really sweet. And this moon is from July, the buck moon in July. Begins the progress of growth after shedding the past of last year. Doesn't that correlate with letting go and surrendering the past? Begins the process of growth after shedding the past of the new year. Let's grab a little tarot here for a little clarity. So what you need to learn from the relationship is shedding the past, letting go, stopping some of those arguments. So you may be bringing up the past a little bit too much as well. There might be some arguing going on here. Could be some jealousies of past relationships and past karmic relationships. And that could be why we have the King of Pentacles popping up, correct? The Four of Wands also shows that, you know, there's some homestead stuff that's happening here. And it's a little on the outs and the low, my friend. What you need to learn from the past is getting over the Nine of Swords. The Nine of Swords is rest and recovery and healing. This is rest and recovery after extreme torment as well. This is a time of letting go anxieties and torment. And what you're needing to learn and what you're getting through now is getting over those anxieties, getting over those nightmares and bad dreams and getting through that. Our last cards we have here is what needs exploring in the relationship. Come on, Violet. You don't need to snore that loud. My dog does it on purpose, I think. Just Boston Terrier. What needs exploring in the relationship? Starting to wind up again. What needs exploring in the relationship? We pulled the Modern Witch's last quarter. We have breaking of bad habits, banishing and relinquishing. I like that. Last quarter. That's about trust too, and balance and trust. You've had a lot of balance cards, which is cool. A lot of Libra energy here. You have Pentacles, Wands, Pentacles, Wands, Swords. Let's see what we pull for our last. So the Wands, we're dealing with fire energy. That's Leo, Sagittarius, and Aries as yourself. Pentacles, some Taurus energy, Virgo and Capricorn. And Sword, of course, is the air. We're dealing with Gemini, Libra, and Aquarius. That's why I'm saying a lot of Libra energy coming out here. So let's have a little look into what needs exploring in the relationship. Breaking of bad habits, vanishing, relinquishing. What needs to be explored is breaking of bad arguments. Breaking of that same routine you're falling into. Getting through it, relinquishing battles. All right. We have the Hierophant, so it's kind of some fight with some authority, some fighting with traditions, fighting with some culture and going on too. There's some Taurus energy as well. And we're dealing with the Hierophant. There's some conformity you may have to deal with. You may need to get by. We also got the Page of Wands here also. We got this one here in reverse, the Page of Wands. And this has been someone that's feeling a little bored and struggling as well. A little bit of immaturity. And so I think that might needs to be explored. I only wanted one card, but two popped out. So taking with the authority, with the immaturity. It's interesting, right? Some is like conformity with authority and battling that out. Some immaturity dealing with, I think it's some time to let go here with the Five of Wands here. Let's look into a little bit of advice, focus, and outcome. I'm going to be using the Moonology cards. I love these ones. So we'll pull 3 cards, advice, focus, and outcome. How can we get some advice? We got to let go of some tides here. We got to let it go and surrender the past. Begin your growth after shedding the past. Breaking your bad habits, relinquishing. New beginning of self-discovery, cooperation, and perfect balance. This is the messages we're getting here. All right, I want one card for advice. There it is. Nothing yet is set in stone, the mutable moon. I love this one. So advice, nothing yet is set in stone. And that just totally correlates with the Five of Wands right there too. You can build that sculpture right up, my friend. You can create a sculpture of your hopes and your dreams. And you can throw it in the water. You can let it be beautiful and stand with the test of time. Or you can let it corrode and erode. Nothing is yet set in stone. Your sculpture of stone doesn't need to stay the way it is. You can let barnacles build up on it. You can hack it down. You can redo it. You can shape it into something else. So advice to give, nothing yet is set in stone, my friend. Like, if you want to deal with this is something you're going to have to, if you're going to be dealing with these arguments, you may have to look and reflect within yourself why it's bothering you. Some of these arguments could just be some trials and tribulations from your past of not willing to trust. It's time to shed it, let it go of what you dealt with and what you went through over the last year. When you get the buck moon, that's like, it's not like, it's like from the time of now to the last year. Whatever you went through, you can let go of it. Let's grab some focus here. What do we have to focus on here? Focus on for Aries. What's our focus for Aries? One card. There it is. You're very close to achieving your goal. You got the gibbous moon. The gibbous moon is about tweaking and honing. This is about adjusting as well. This is right. The gibbous moon is right before the full moon. It's just about to crack, you know, just about to open up here. You're very, very close to achieving your goal. Your focus that you need on is just keep on the course. Keep on the course that you're doing. You know, I do the other reads through the sun signs with Aries as well. And just keep on your course. You're making good decisions. A success here. I like it. And I see that with the Nine of Swords. When I get this in reverse, it shows me times that you've been going through. This is rest and recovery. I like this. This is a lot of relief when you see that card as well. So that's why I'm happy to see that. That's really cool. Now we're going to have a little outcome here. Let's have an outcome. I would like an outcome card here that doesn't jab me. Look for the bigger picture, full moon in Sagittarius. So your outcome here is the picture is larger than you believe, my friend. You're focused on just the small arguments and the small things that are happening right now, but the bigger picture is your heart and your soul and your mental health. Some things you just got to let go and stop arguing about, and just shedding some past issues and shedding some past goodies, and leave that with that karmic relationship. Good and bad. Just leave it alone. Don't even need to dwell. And just focus on all the good awesomeness that's happening right now, because you are very close to achieving your goal. Nothing yet is set in stone, so you can change your stars. Anything that's shaking around and digging on you right now and bugging you and pecking at you, let it go. You can change that here. The Five of Wands is a very easy card to change. Very, very, very easy card. And that's you. That's wand energy. That's fire and passion, creative and action. Action meets change, my friend. Change of course. Let's grab a little tarot for our advice, focus, and outcome as well. I'll also rock one on top. I do see the Seven of Swords here, and that's interesting. The Seven of Swords here is punishment being caught sometimes, but you're making amends. You're making amends, and yet nothing yet is set in stone for the advice that you're given is moving on. The advice that you have for the Seven of Swords is just get away. Move on if you don't want to deal with that. If there's an argument from the past, there's trust issues, I think it's moving on, and those of you who are staying together, just enjoy each other. You don't need to concern yourself with the little things anymore. Ooh, that was an interesting flip. All right, we have the Page of Swords here, and we have this one here in reverse. Now, the Page of Swords is sometimes some clouds of curiosity it's in behind. He's got some blue skies in there, but wind's going fast, and he's ready to swipe the air with it. There's some weakness here. Sometimes this can be some... dealing with some bad news sometimes, and we're dealing with some bad news and achieving our goal. It's just I find it, some of these you still got to maintain and set the course on, and that's fine that you got this one in reverse, because sometimes those prying eyes are turning away, and that's good. I don't want you to think that you're on your own here when dealing with this one. It's time to, sometimes the air can be so heavy you can slice a sword with it, you know, it's like slice a knife with it. I think just keep on track, keep on your course, and I think things will be fine. Your focus should not have to be other people's prying eyes that are on you when you're dealing with the Page of Swords here. You don't need to dwell on any issues, and I would like you to keep moving forward. Let's look at the bigger picture for our outcome here. We got the full moon in Sagittarius. What's our clarity for, and what's our outcome card? Right away we have is the Emperor card here. The Emperor card also was in reverse. Now this is sometimes you're dealing with someone who's a little bit of immature. This is kind of some poor planning. And you're looking at the bigger picture. You're not looking at the full long term of the situation where it needs to be. The long term of the situation is where your heart and soul, like I said, need to be. You're so close in dealing with all the small little things going on right now. You're forgetting the big picture. That sometimes can lead to immature arguments, immature problems in relationships as well. I think we need to just keep on the course. And you just have a lot of internal reflecting and letting some things go. And those things take time, and you take your time. And a lot of it seems like here has to do with trust, okay? And you had some trust that was broken from your past. And it's hard to accept and move into the new, especially when we're excited about something and you want to jump in. Well, that's all we have for the messages here today. Well, I just want to say thanks so much for hanging out with me. We had some interesting moon sign love messages here for you. But something a little different today, and we're using some moon magic cards and the Whispers of the Moon oracles. Well, thanks so much for hanging out with me again. Don't forget, in the description down below, I have a link to my Etsy website. There you can find, and you can book yourself a personal reading with me. And thank you again for hanging out, and have a kick-ass day.